And we are live. Welcome to Glamma's Closet, guys. Hi, good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. You may have noticed, you may have noticed the new introduction. I am so thrilled. So thrilled. I have a new introduction, new outro. So please let me know if you like it. I actually did the smart thing. I was going to hire somebody to do my intro, but there is somebody who's been doing intros for the past 3 years, who knows their way around the internet. They're very smart, super resourceful, very creative, and it just so happens that they are also in the chat. Carrie, thank you so much. I actually this is the first time that I have ever paid somebody for technology, and it is worth every cent. And she tried to get me not to pay, and that's not happening. But because she's starting, guys, she's going to be starting a business doing like introductions, outros, working with software, and working with what do you call them? I keep wanting to say taglines, and that's not it. It's thumbnails, working with thumbnails. So Carrie's going to be starting that business within the next few weeks, launching that. So if you would like a referral, please let me know, and we'll have more information on that starting next week, how to get in contact with her, and how to thumbnails, and how to get that up and started. But I was just in love with what she did. She did a montage, just pulled from some of my other videos, and there's an outro too, so that'll be fun to watch today. Well, it'll be fun for me to but I was really proud of her, and it's something that she's been doing twice a week for 3 years. So it's about time she turned that into a paying enterprise. She's got the skills, she's got the talent, she's got the creativity. I am 100% Team Carrie on this, and really proud of her. Really proud of her. So let's say hi to the chat. First in chat, hello, my love. That's Cajun Roots Reseller. Good morning, baby. It is good to see you, Johnny. I hope your birthday weekend has been awesome. Everybody, if you haven't wished Johnny a happy birthday, please don't forget to drop a happy birthday to Johnny in the chat. He turned a 29, I think. We'll just go with it. Good morning, Dodo. I love your intro. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And the genius herself, Carrie, you did what a beautiful job. I was so thrilled last night. Liv, good morning, sweetie. Good morning. It's good to see you. I am so glad that you could be here. I'm so glad that you can hear. I mean, I'm glad that you can hear too, Sorry, I get awkward before I've had my coffee. Raquel, good morning. It's good to see you, baby. Hi, baby girl. Congrats, Carrie. That's so awesome. Happy birthday to Johnny, who's had a really good weekend. Happy birthday to you. Ba-ba-doo-ba-ba. Also, to all of you daddies out there, happy Father's Day. I can only speak to my own father experience, but I did want to talk a little bit about some of my favorite things to think about when it comes to my dad. It's my husband learned very early on that if he's doing something technical, mechanical, that I am very good at making sweet tea. because when I was growing up, I would ask my dad when he was like working on the car or something. I'd go, hey, can I help? And he would go, yeah, go get me a glass of sweet tea. And he would have me make a whole pitcher of sweet tea for him and bring him glasses of sweet tea. That's how I learned to make tea. I make a heck of a tea. And I can't look at an engine and know what I'm looking at all. My father was like, no, you don't do that. That's not you. So my husband's been teaching me a little bit at a time, but mostly I just make the tea and bring it. My dad also, he used to, when he would come home from work, if he's had a good day, you could always tell because he would whistle, and he wouldn't just whistle. He'd whistle like they did in the 50s. He'd whistle whole songs. So he would come in and whistle the whole song on his way in. You could hear him whistling. And I remember as a little girl sitting on the front porch, waiting to hear, and I loved it. And he would whistle most of the time. He was like me. He was born with his tail wagging. That's where I get that from. And he would I could hear the car pull in, and then the car door would slam, and then I'd hear the whistling start. And either he was really happy to be home or he was just really happy with life in general. But he would whistle an entire song on his way into the house. And if I was very good and I sat on the front porch like a good girl, and waited for him and hugged him when he came in the door, or hugged him when he approached the door, sometimes he would have a leftover snack from his lunch, or he would hit the vending machine before he left work. And so he would have like zingers or like a candy bar or something like that for us to split, me and my brother and my second oldest sister and Carrie when she was old enough. So we had, those are some of my favorite memories of my dad. And he would make food. He loved to cook. Very Renaissance guy. He was a Brunch turner, but he loved to cook. And he would have bread come out of the oven or something like that, or a pie, and he'd pat on it just a little bit and go, oh, isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty? And it would just be beautiful, like photograph beautiful, of course, because he was concerned with all of that too. Dana, he whistled in the morning too. I didn't appreciate it back then. There were a lot of things, you never really appreciate your parents until they're gone. So that's just the circle of life. Let's see. Nita J, good morning. I'm glad you caught us this morning. Thank you. Yeah, that's too. Sweet tea or get a cup of coffee. Ronnie, my glam baby. Hello, my love. Good morning. And yeah, he did whistle in the morning. So those are some of my favorite memories from my dad. Some of my favorite things to think about when I think about him. And then, there are a million memories. And my father was, if nothing else, he was entertaining. He was constantly on. Yeah, that's my daddy. And Dad in heaven, happy Father's Day. I love you. And I am growing your mustache, so you'll be proud. He would get a kick out of that. He'd think that was funny, but also sadly true. So I wanted to ask the chat this morning, if you have a father in your life, a father figure in your life, a grandparent, a granddad, what are one of your favorite things to think about when you think about them, whether they're still with us or whether they've passed on? What are some of your favorite things about your dad or your grandpa or a father figure in your life too? Some people have a father figure that is in their life. While we're doing that, let's talk about the closet news. Thursday mornings with Johnny. I will be on Cajun Roots Reseller every Thursday morning at 7:30 a.m. Central, 8:30 Eastern, to talk about Poshmark. And I'm usually on there for about an hour and a half. So please feel free to pop by and say hi. Sunday morning, of course, we have our Sunday morning brunch live with Glamma each week at 10 a.m. Central. I believe the Sunday after the July 4th weekend, not July 4th weekend, I'll be here. But I think the Sunday after that is when my husband finally gets 4 days off in a row. So we may turn into little hippies and just like hit the road and take a road trip. If that's the case, I will definitely put up a notice and let everybody know, that we won't be having brunch that Sunday. My brother is the most amazing dad ever. He has 2 little girls. They are his world. He built one of them a canopy bed recently. Wow. I always wanted one of those when I was a little girl. I think every little girl kind of wants one. It's almost like a secret clubhouse for you. I love that. I love that. I bet he is a great dad. And everybody loves a handy daddy, honey. I mean, we can talk about fathers all day, but there's a difference between a father and a daddy. Like Pedro Pascal. Carrie and I were talking about this. Pedro Pascal is a daddy. Um, yeah, and my sons are fathers. Well, 2/3 of my sons are fathers. Gary said, "Hey, oh." Also, not to be negative, but it is incredible how awesome of a dad he is, considering how our dad was not. I'll leave it at that. You know what? That's even better. I mean, that's incredible, and really a testament to the human spirit. Yeah, you had one. Pedro Pascal is a daddy. He is such a daddy. I'm sorry, but and Chris Hemsworth, also my father figure. No, he's the daddy. He's a straight up daddy. And strangely enough, Matt Damon. I've got a thing for Matt Damon. It's crazy. But yeah, he's a daddy to me too. Again, just check out my new. You had Dodo. You had a canopy bed. You lucky girl. I wanted one so badly. And when you have like 4 kids, they don't always all get their own room and canopy bed. So I slept in the same room with my sisters for a very long time. Okay, yes, let's talk about the daddies. I'm just saying, daddies. Jason Momoa was a daddy, but I feel like he's maybe, I don't know, maybe not working out as much. Although, who am I to judge, right? I'm not judging him as a person for that. Trust me. I just, as a daddy, maybe. I'm like, I don't know. Um, but again, the new introduction, the new outro. If you haven't seen the new introduction yet, please check it out later on. Go back and just kind of click and play that. If you haven't hit the like button or the subscribe button, please do so now. We would love to have you as a new subscriber. And of course, thumbs ups are always appreciated. Thank you so much. In fashion news, let's start with fashion news. Oh, hold on. I was watching Day After Tomorrow yesterday, and it reminded me of how much I used to love Dennis Quaid when I was little. The Parent Trap. Okay, yeah, he was hot in The Parent Trap. I always thought he had like that kind of wry thing. Like I didn't think he was hot, but I did think he was attractive. And everybody's got their own taste in what's completely hot too. So like, yeah. Unpopular opinion, I hate calling men daddy. Well, it's not like I call them that to their face. I don't go, "Ooh, you're a daddy." I don't call men daddy because I actually called my father daddy at one point when I was little. But I will call them that behind their backs and go, "You are a daddy." Um, 80s, early 90s, Dennis Quaid was fire. Yes, he was. Yeah, he had kind of that awkward thing. Wasn't he with Meg Ryan? Didn't he go out with Meg Ryan? I was literally just about to write that, Dana. Yes, also 90s Jeff Goldblum. Kind of current Jeff Goldblum too. I really and guys, I have this thing for Stanley Tucci. I don't know what it is. I clearly have too many daddy issues for that. I mean, honestly, I can see that. I can see where you're coming from. I do. Let's see. There we go. I was 7 years old and my mom came back into my life and she was married to my stepdad. He cooked every Sunday evening. He would make his German food, and we would watch Lawrence Welk. He was a good dad. You know, some dads are just good dads. Yeah. Dodo, they were married? Huh. I mean, he was really cute, but he really married up. Meg Ryan was like the America's sweetheart. She was the cutest thing. In fashion news this morning from, let's start with Women's Wear Daily Business News. They were talking about China's retail sales growth, which has slowed down considerably in May of this year, while youth unemployment rate has hit an all-time high. So the May data was released Thursday by China's National Bureau of Statistics, and it indicated that the swift rebound seen at the beginning of the year has lost momentum. So, I think it's going to be interesting to keep an eye on what is happening with China. From what I understand, they're very much reaching out to the luxury market. The problem, I think, with that is that there have been so many copyright issues with Chinese manufacturers at this point, that they may experience some rejection from some of the luxury brands, or some chasing down. Although I don't know, because I also saw an article, guys, that was talking about how knockoffs are getting better. They're actually investing good money into knockoffs. And people care less about whether or not it's a knockoff. So I don't know. If they don't care that it's a knockoff, though, then why are you wearing the brand to begin with? I don't know. We'll put a pin in that one. From the Business of Fashion website, Chanel's ultimate luxury jewelry push is its new tweed-inspired high jewelry collection in London this week. And if you don't know what high jewelry is a lot of these luxury brands, Dior, Givenchy, Chanel, Versace, a lot of them have a costume jewelry line. Almost all of them do. Most of them do not have a high-end luxury jewelry collection. So a lot of them are beginning to start one. That means that they're making things with like real gold, real silver, real gemstones, things like that. The CEO of Chanel sees the booming category as a key opportunity to elevate the Chanel brand, as if it needs elevation, but okay. High jewelry is defined as jewelry made with precious metals and gems, as opposed to the typical costume jewelry that Chanel has produced for the mass market. So if you see like the Chanel watch or something that has like the C's logos, 9 times out of 10, that is a costume thing. Good morning, Deadhead. What's up? Come here, Uncle John's band. Every time I see the words Deadhead, or I see the Grateful Dead logo, Uncle John's band immediately goes through my head. The fashion word of the week, gorpcore. You've seen it. I saw it, and I didn't really get the definition of it. I thought it was just like more like they had. There was a fashion revolution in Russia in the 30s with the advent of the Communist Party, with the establishment of the Communist Party, and they came out with designs that were very utilitarian, and they had very sort of industrial almost designs on the clothing, and the clothing itself was very boxy and very very sort of factory worker sort of thing. And the clothes now are, it's almost priceless to get a piece of that. And they were just really fantastic designs, very Spartan, very, very pared down. So gorpcore, I thought was that, and it's not. You've been using that quite a bit in your tags. Yeah, I haven't used it because I wasn't 100% sure. But gorpcore was named after the colloquial term for trail mix, which is gorp. It's good old raisins and peanuts. Had no idea. So good old raisins and peanuts. Gorp core is a fashion trend in which outerwear, typically designed for outdoor recreation, is worn as streetwear. So like fleece, REI, Patagonia, Columbia, that sort of thing. It's been described as wearing functional outdoor wear in an urban, trendy style. At the crux of Gorpcore is the idea that nothing is more stylish than clothes that are actually not stylish. Oh my God, that's so funny. Eep, op, gorp, ah, ah, that means I love you. Yes, I think that was from the Jetsons, right? Gleep, blah, Lord, oh, God, love you. Thank you. I have a mystery guest who just delivered me coffee. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. That was totally not my son. Yeah, look at that. Free coffee. Hey, Scorpio. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yes, Boo Boo, it sure is. Yeah, that was from the Jetsons. It was some rock band. It was. I think that episode was modeled after kind of like the Bye Bye Birdie thing, where the big rock star comes into town and everybody's in love with them and blah blah blah. It's like athleisure for hikers. Yes. Did you see the Lovely Bones with Stanley Tucci? He's so creepy. I saw no because I love Stanley Tucci so much, and I didn't see it. I did watch clips of it on YouTube so I could get the good general idea, and I watched like a sort of a synopsis of it. So I got enough to know that I would absolutely cry if I saw Stanley Tucci in that role. So I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. He's home for Daddy's Day. He is home for Daddy's Day. Yeah, he's very sweet. So Gorpcore. Gorpcore is outerwear worn as streetwear. So it's REI. It's I don't know. I'm trying to think of other. Oh, North Face, I guess. Right, the North Face jackets. It will ruin him for you. Yeah, it would ruin Stanley Tucci for me. Let's talk a little bit about this week in sales and put my sales numbers up. I did do an auction on Save Here First, Ella, on her channel this week. So I sold $68 on the auction. After I sold 9 items total, after my cost of goods, and some of those were like bundled together in lots and stuff. After my cost of goods my cost of goods average is about $3 per item. So times 9 items, that's 27. 68 minus 27 was 41. So $41 was my profit on the auction. And then let's go ahead and share screen. With Glamma's Closet. Oh, okay. So let's start with the last thing that we talked about last week were the Coach Mary lockup shoes. So we're going to talk about the Urban Revivo front overall jean dress small. This was a freebie that came to me from one of the kids in the family, and I had it listed at I think 15 or 16, and somebody offered 12, and I'm like, sure, take it and run. It's a small jean dress, and so I was lucky to get it. These Athleta navy blue with side stripes jogger pants in size medium. I picked those up at the bins, and those sold for $11. I've had these in my closet forever, and it was crazy that they finally sold. I mean, they've been in there for like a year. The new with tags Daymore petite pink full length mother of the bride dress originally sold for $50, and then the lady came back like 30 seconds later and she's like, oh, I bought these by accident. And don't we love it when they're like, hey, I bought this by accident? I'm like, sure you did. You must have tripped and fell on your computer. So yeah, if you're a reseller, you're like, well, okay. So you had a moment and then you decided to cancel the moment. Okay, that's fine. So I just let it go. I just let them cancel it no charge because I'm like, okay, it's within the 3 hours. You're okay. But I did sell these Betsy Johnson open toe gold and gold tone and crystal strappy heels. And those came in one of my thread up shoe boxes. So I want to say those were $5 or $6 was the average cost of goods on those. They sold for $30, and they're really beautiful in person. I mean, just a rainbow effect on these crystals, and you can't see the heels, but the heels were completely encrusted with glitter, and they were in beautiful, like new condition. They were just gorgeous heels, and I felt $30 was a very fair price for those. My next sale excuse me, was a PacSun medium wash mid-rise stretch skinny jean 31 by 30. And if you're wondering, those came in a jean bundle. I originally had 20 on them, nobody wanted them. Then I had 16 on them and nobody wanted them. And then I had 12 on them and nobody wanted them. So I had 10 on them and somebody offered me 7 and I took it. I'm like, okay, so these are obviously not the biggest sellers, but it's interesting that they went to what I would see. Let's just say I'm pretty sure they went to a costume department in California. And I will protect the buyer's privacy from there on out. But I was really, really happy to see that because I'm hoping that they become a repeat buyer. Good morning, Patrick Murphy. Mwah. That's my homie. Jamie J, I have serious BO. I have seriously BO. Something tells me I'm reading that wrong. But good morning, Jamie J. It's good to see you. We also had Gymshark black sports bra. This came in that thread up fitness box, the mixed fitness clothing thing that Veronica and I did the premiere on. So that sold for 21. I had 25 on it, sold for 21. I was happy to get that. And then the Funko Pop Hello Kitty Gymnast. I bought these for, I think I got them for $5 a piece, and this one sold for 10. And I got those from Mom Knows Treasures MKT. She had an auction, and I bundled it together, this one and another one with the Ruth Bader Ginsburg Funko Pop, which I am keeping. But those were great deals, and I was like, well, it was the easiest to photograph and list. It just sells itself. I had some Nike black slide sandals, men's size 8, women 9.5. I got those from the bins, I think. So I got them home. I disinfected, washed them up, and popped them on the internet. I had 16 on them, and somebody offered 11, and I thought, let's take it. And then my last sale of the week was Tory Burch low waist super skinny jeans, size 32. They were flawed. I was so happy when I got a jeans box from thredUP, and they had these in them, and I was so ecstatic. And then I noticed that they actually had quite a large stain on them. And so I did put flawed in the description and flawed in the thing, and it about cut the cost that somebody would pay for it in half. So I put 25 on them. I got an offer for 20, and again, I took it. I absolutely took that. So 9 sales this week. I do have BO, but really that was an accidental set. Oh my God. That's hilarious. Before I finish sending the text, Jamie, there's a reason why we love you. And Deadhead, I will get back to your question in a minute. Thank you, Patrick. I have bought posh items accidentally 2 times. Once I thought there were different items, once just fumbling around in my purse. No kidding, Jamie. Let's see. I want to get rid of the old but make my money back. Yeah, Dodo, I feel that. Fitness donut in my mouth. Yes, that's my fitness box right there. Okay, that's never mind. Yeah. Hey Simpsons, how you doing? It's good to see you. Jamie, I love that so much. That was hilarious. That was awesome. Okay, Deadhead, we will. I am gonna. I promise you, I'll get back to it because I have a star on that now. Okay, so for this week, I had a total of 8 sales. 8 sales, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 sales. I had 1 dress, 3 pairs of pants, 2 pairs of shoes, 1 intimates, and 1 toys / collectibles. 8 sales with my average cost of goods being $3 per item. Some more, some less. Obviously, we're doing an average cost of goods. So our cost of goods came in right about $24. My gross for those 8 sales was $122. My net was $91.03. It's getting skied out there, guys. And then the 9103. Did I do the 9103 minus the 24? I did not. Okay, so I did 9103 plus the 41 from the auction, so it's 132.03, but minus the 24 would be 108.03. So 108.03 for all of my hard work this week was my profit. And it wasn't that it was a bad week. It was a week where I spent a lot of time on working on my YouTube channel. And also, I had my grandkids from like Wednesday morning until Thursday night. And I had 3 lives on Thursday, one of which was an auction. And I had, just so much going on this week, so much going on. And we're still recovering and finishing shipping from last week. So, yeah, just questioning the marketing strategies. Well, right now, I'm assuming that you and Deadhead are talking. So yeah, it wasn't the most lucrative week, but it's mid-month too. It's mid-month. It's summer. It's there are a lot of things happening. In general that I think that we really have to look at when it comes to what's going on. And I didn't list this week hardly at all. And that kids will always screw me up. The Simpsons Jewelry Channel, they got the jewelry, they got the Simpsons. New fun description by Patrick Murphy. I'm probably not going to wrap this in bubble wrap since it is supposed to be a rugged case. If it breaks in transit, then do you really want to trust your device in said case? Smart. Very smart. Yeah, I'm a spaz, so is my purse. Mine too. Okay, Deadhead, let's get back to your question. Okay, I have a question. Since I am new, I had to link a new card to my PayPal account to pay something on the auction, and it won't load any money. Am I doing something wrong? I can only tell you as someone who pays a lot with PayPal for auction things. I usually have to get a request for money before, or an invoice, one of those two. It's either a request for money through friends and family, or I get an invoice before I pay it. So it could be something as simple as, that. My guess would be maybe you need to go back into it and make sure that you typed in the credit card number correctly, the expiration correctly, the CVC code correctly. And that's just from someone who buys a lot of auction items from other resellers. That's just my opinion, but here's the thing too. Once upon a time, I had a brand new can opener, and it was an electronic can opener, and I wasn't used to that. I had the scoot scoot scoot. I had that, but my husband got me a new one. And I called him at work, and I tried everything to get this can opener to work. And I called him at work, and finally he answered the phone. He's like, "What's going on?" And I said, "Hey, this new can opener is not working, and I'm trying to make chili, and I'm trying to make dinner, and I need to open cans of beans." And he said, "Is it plugged in?" And I said, "Of course it's plugged in." And I looked over, and it wasn't plugged in. Sometimes literally we type in like one wrong number in a credit card number, and it's just not going to run that sale. So maybe it's not plugged in. Maybe it's just missing one number, or one number was, maybe there's a zero transposed with an O, or you never know. So I would double check the number before anything. You linked it, but it won't transfer money. That one, I don't know. You may have to reach out to PayPal for that, but you may have to double check that. So if anybody's in the chat that can help Deadhead out, I have had problems with prepaid gift cards. Can't get them to work on PayPal. So if you're trying with one of those, it could be that, like a Visa gift card. I get that. Hey, Jojo. Good morning, Jojo. Good to see you. Good to see you. Deadhead, I hope that helps out, because I am, unfortunately, I'm the worst person to ask about technology too. Literally, is it plugged in is always now my very first thing, because I suck at technology so much. So hopefully somebody who's techie in the chat has been able to help you with that. Geneva, by the way, I didn't say good morning. Good morning, Geneva. It's good to see you. Hi, sweetie. UHHB. I don't know what that is, but yeah. Oh, UHB, probably. Okay. Upon setup, they usually deposit like a penny or 3 pennies in your account. Then you need to verify the funds to activate the account. I don't know. Watch your emails for verification. Worst case scenario, contact via PayPal, via chat. Yeah. It's because I didn't say good morning. Oh, sorry, multitasking. No, I get it. I do that a lot with some of the auctions and some of the things that I watch in the morning, where I can't say hi to everybody, because maybe the chat, like Friday, that chat was crazy on Cajun Roots reseller for his birthday. And all of that. So yeah, sometimes you can't keep up with the chat. Sometimes you're busy doing something while you're listening to the show. So I'm so happy that you're here. Thank you so much, Geneva. Good morning, Nady Pie. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Happy Father's Day to you, Nady Pie. It's good to see you, and I'm so glad. I really hope that your recovery is going quite well. And I'm just talking about the chest waxing. Y'all, he waxed his entire chest. It was frightening and hilarious all at once. It was really, I was like, you may want to seek medical attention after this. I mean, it was so painful. It was a really big area all at once. I'm like, oh man, poor guy. But Nady Pie is a trooper. He is nothing if not a trooper. And a very dear, dear friend to the Glam fam. And we just absolutely love us some Nady Pie. So he's so sweet. Reseller news from e-commerce bites this week. They report that Etsy and eBay sellers, let me know if this sounds like you, have been forced to resign themselves to the fact that marketplaces insert ads into their listing. They actually were talking about how they would have like a series of photos on somebody's listing on Etsy. And on that last photo, they'd have a little icon that says that they add to the photo, that Etsy adds to the photo, not you, but Etsy would add to the photo, that if you click on it, it'll take the visitor to search results pages. So it's a hyperlink that actually takes them to different pages. So a potential buyer This is what they reported. Had an inquiry about an item I was selling on eBay. On Etsy. As I was scrolling through my pictures, I noticed the last picture had text inserted inside the bubbles. The bubbles were tags I used when I made the listing so that it could be found. Etsy had inserted them into this picture box, and when you click on them, it takes you out of the listing and to a search results page. And they actually the seller's reaction to finding that Etsy had inserted a similar photo containing links that took shoppers away from her listing. So they were like clicking on something and then it was taking them away from their listing, and in some cases to other Etsy listings. So you make the photo, you make the whole thing, right? This is your product that you're selling. And if they click on that little icon on the last listing, it actually takes them to somebody else's page. It takes them away from your page. It appeared that instance appeared to have been part of a test. In an example that we saw reported at the time, Etsy has inserted a prominent Find Similar Items button overlaid on the seller's product photo of a $69 listing for a handmade ceramic mug. So it was like, you liked this, so here's some more items. And I was like, whoa, that is crazy. Good morning, Perla. Hello, gorgeous. Mwah. It's good to see you. Wish I knew more about that. I'm not on Etsy anymore. Well, apparently you can thank your lucky stars that you're not. Because Etsy, another issue that sellers may have with the latest feature or test is that it isn't clear to shoppers that clicking on the links would take them to results that include other sellers' listings. So it's very confusing. It's very confusing that it's like when you click on that link, if it's another Etsy seller, it doesn't tell you anywhere, or it tells you in very tiny letters that it's not the same person. So you're not buying from the same person. So for example, here I am. Okay, let's say that I went to Johnny. He's in the chat. Let's say I went to Johnny's Etsy store to buy, vintage something. I want to support Johnny because I know Johnny. I've seen him on YouTube. I trust him. And I go through a picture of an Afghan that I like, and I see a little, icon in the corner of the Afghan, and I'm like, on one of the pictures, and I'm like, oh, what's that? And I click on that, and there are more Afghans that show up. If it's not made clear to me that those are not also Johnny's Afghans, Johnny's losing money on posting his own pictures. How do you justify that? How do you justify that? That is, trust me, I'm combining reseller news with salty treats, which I tend to do a lot lately. Sorry. But they also posted an update a day later on 6/17/2023. They also posted an update and let people know, hey, by the way, we reported this in October, but eBay also encroached on the photo section of sellers' listings. So yeah, Jamie J, right? Yeah, Dodo, it is detrimental. It's BS is what it is. Jamie J, holy crap, and I thought Poshmark had issues, right? That's what I was thinking. I was like, well, I mean, so far they don't have it on Poshmark, but Poshmark's trying to turn into eBay now, so who knows? I did want to make a note that the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, tweeted a message to consumers informing them that they can get information about marketplace sellers. And when they say marketplace, they mean Amazon, any online marketplace seller, and including eBay, and can report questionable activity thanks to a new law called the Inform Act. And that was from the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission. The Friday morning tweet linked to a page on the website of the FTC, where it stated in part, the Informed Consumers Act is designed to deter criminals from selling stolen, counterfeit, or unsafe counterfeit or unsafe items through online marketplaces. It also gives shoppers information about sellers and a way to report questionable activity. The act says online marketplaces must disclose contact information about many third-party sellers. Now, here's where it gets interesting for resellers of new or unused consumer products on their product pages or in order confirmation messages. So, from what I understand, if you're selling like secondhand anything or used something, that doesn't count towards this. Um, Shoppers could use the information to learn more about a seller that they're not familiar with. The online marketplace must also give shoppers a way to report suspicious conduct. The FTC said shoppers might not see the information for all third-party sellers, explaining that the law covers only high-volume third-party sellers that meet specific sales thresholds. How does the FTC define a high-volume seller? In general, they said it's a seller in an online marketplace that in any continuous 12-month period during the past 24 months has had on that platform 200 or more separate sales, which most resellers have had, of new or unused consumer products and $5,000 or more in gross revenues, which again, most of us have had in a year. If a high volume third party seller has an annual gross revenues of $20,000 or more on a particular online marketplace, the marketplace must clearly disclose the following information. And here's the following information: the seller's full name, which may include the business name or the name the seller uses online. Let me get into the next page because there's no way to do this without notes. The seller's physical address and contact information that will allow consumers to have what the law calls direct, unhindered communication with the seller, including a working phone number, a working email address, or other means of direct e-messaging that may be provided by the marketplace, as long as that other means doesn't prevent the online marketplace from monitoring communications with consumers for fraud, abuse, or spam. So I guess what they're doing, is they're trying to protect consumers from scandalous third party people who are selling. Let's say that I've got a shampoo that I sell on Amazon, and it turns out the shampoo is giving everybody rashes or something like that, or it was made in an unsafe way, or I'm selling vitamins that people are taking orally that were made maybe on the floor of a factory. Who knows? So I can understand the need to protect the consumer. I'm a consumer. You all are consumers. The thing is that there is also, if you're working as a business and you're selling new products online, it seems reasonable that you should have a way to communicate. I honestly believe, though, that a screen name, how else would you take vitamins if not orally? Well, you can shoot them up. I've been getting them for years. So I believe that a great way to do that would be to come up with a business screen name like Glamma, and make sure all of your emails and everything, sort of coincide with that name. So that's the only thing I can think of, though, to really protect yourself. With the address, I think it's important to have your address registered with the platform that you're selling on. I don't think that's too much to ask, but I do think it's too much to ask to release that to the public without your consent or without some rule having been broken. So, I would make that conditional. I would make that anybody who's buying from me on the internet can just look up my address. That's my home. And a lot of these people sell out of their homes. So that is my question for Ask the Chat. How do you walk that line between having somebody being able to track you down through the internet, through your business, and somebody, and protecting your personal privacy? I'm curious. And let me go back up in the chat. Let's see. Did I miss anybody? I hate to miss anybody when they come in. Yeah, Poshmark has issues. No, that doesn't mean Poshmark has issues. Along the same lines, be careful of a Facebook scam. Someone will send you a message, look who died in an accident that I think you know, I'm so sorry, with the link. Needless to say, don't click it. Yes. Do not click on unsolicited links. I don't care who they're from. I don't care if they're from your mom. Don't do it. My mom wouldn't send it. She doesn't know what no computers, but yeah. They should have to pay the first seller for advertising for them. Yeah, I think so. I think Jamie, I think you're right. She's talking about the email, or not the email, the Etsy issue with clicking on that icon. I think you're right. If they're selling and they make a sale because of this whole referral system, which is so stupid, then yeah, the original seller should be able to make some money on that. Ahead, Patrick Murphy, I've got messages like that a few times. Never took a chance and clicked it. Did you? No. You don't need my contact info unless you actually buy from me. Then it's a limited info. That's how I feel about it too. I'm going to help you commit identity theft. I think you meant no. You're not gonna. No, you don't need my number or email. Use the provided platform's messaging system to CYA. Yes, that's exactly it. Mm-mm. Oh, although I could use a donut. Sorry. Or three. Cake donuts are my favorite. Absorption with insertion. Let's see. Carrie, see me after class. Carrie, see Patrick after class. That is why I only use my P.O. box for my business. How are you picking up that fat dog? So strong. That's why that is a smart idea. And I really, yeah, Dodo, I have thought the same thing for 3 years. And I don't know. I don't want to do that in the middle of like the summer slowdown. I'm probably wait for fall. Hopefully fall will pick up a little bit more. There wouldn't be consumer fear if companies didn't sell our information for profit. Yes, very good point. They created the same thing that they're trying to protect us against. Yes. Yes. If I got something from my mom, I know it is spam and she would flip in her grave. Johnny. Yeah, I'd be like, oh, you have an email from your dad. I'm like, no. No, my physical father is gone, and and my daddy is Pedro Pascal, and he's not emailing me either. So no, I'm joking. I'm sorry. Great. Glamma inserted a quarter into Patrick Murphy this morning. Well, you know what, though? The quarter needed to be said. I mean, honestly, and you're right. You're dead on. There wouldn't be consumer fear if companies didn't sell our information for profit. They started this. They started it. It's not fair. They started this fight. Yeah, they're saying you have to provide it to the online marketplace, but I don't think that you have to. I don't think that it's necessary to provide it to every buyer. They can know where it's shipping from. That's no problem. But it's none of these. Yeah, it's none of. It's not anybody's business except for the platform. And the platform, the thing that we're all afraid of is exactly what Patrick said. That platforms will share your information. Johnny was so smart to get a P.O. box. And yeah, Nady Pie, I'm tired of all these saying someone left me a bunch of money overseas. Where is it? It's there is, from what I understand, the majority of those overseas monies are located, in fact, in Nigeria. So you'll want to go talk to the royal family. I believe there is a prince, and you'll have to go see them. Company name and city should be enough. Exactly. And that's the thing with not having your own business, because I can tell you that almost every hotel that I've ever worked at, the owner was not the name that was on the address. The owner actually had a completely different physical address, and so that was, it, it's a business model that is worth looking into, maybe finding a way to copy. But yeah, the company name and city should be enough. Good morning, Jane. It's good to see you, sweetie. Mwah. Good morning. Happy Sunday. Happy Father's Day. Let's see. Did I miss anybody coming into the chat? It is literally a safety issue with the right to privacy. Yes, along with right to privacy. Oh, Native Pie said, "Thanks for the info, BRB." Oh, he's on his way to Nigeria already. I'm tired of being proposed to by Nigerian princes. Honestly, it's embarrassing for them. You can't blame them for trying. We know what a quality woman you are. They must have figured it out somehow from the interwebs. I love it when Microsoft phones me to tell me my PC is causing problems. Yeah. I'd be like, you know what else is causing problems? Here, let me check this USB port that I've got. No, I'm sorry. I didn't know it worked like that. Yeah. Good morning. Happy Sunday, sweet, beautiful Dana. Good morning, Carol. It's good to see you this morning. How are things in New England? I hope everything is going well. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's good to see you. Thank you so much for coming. Yeah, we all get like the unsolicited spam and the weird messages that are like, desperately, seeking money, or want you to click on a link that you've never particularly, clicked on before, or, that you didn't solicit in any way from somebody that you either don't know, or, somebody that you're trying to trust. Oh, here we go. Here's the quarter. I am tired of all the rules being implemented on the small businesses when larger corporations have so many loopholes and tax breaks. Look, man, I'm just trying to sell a used sock, right? It's true. But of course, it's, that's the same way. The little guy always kind of gets the screws. The little guy always gets the screws. So I did want to, my salty treat was, again, the same as the reseller news. It's kind of most of the time it's almost the same thing. So I did want to go ahead and get to the shout outs, the sweeties of the week. And let's start by me being Captain Obvious. Just a second. The last video I did with breaking news just hit over 5,200 views and also reached over 40. What is your thoughts about this new update? Are you kidding me? With the breaking news, it's so cool. And if you don't know what we're talking about, go to Cajun Roots Reseller channel and check out. He just dropped a video called Breaking News, and it has to do with monetization on YouTube. And it's really, really a good video. It's very informative, and it's very happy news. Trust me. It is very, very happy news. So yes, I am. I am glad that there's a way to monetize without having to have without having to. It feels like they made the finish line, a little bit closer, so it feels very much more attainable. See, banned for selling fart in a jar. Yeah, he did try to sell the fart in the jar. To be fair, there was a fart in an actual jar, so it's not like it was false advertising. It depends on the usage, Patrick Murphy. I had teenage sons, just saying. Yeah, that's true. Teenage sons will, they get away with some shenanigans. So the shout outs for my sweets for the sweetest. Let's start with Aunt Boo, Carrie, for the beautiful introduction, the beautiful outro. You'll see that in a few minutes, and the thumbnails. And she got all of this accomplished in one weekend while she was still like being a mom and raising a family and, choring around the house and getting everything, all the things done. So I really, really uh, strongly recommend her as someone who has actually, again, this is a business arrangement, and there is actually payment involved and all of that. So as a business person who is interacting with her for these services, and as someone who has watched her do this for the past 3 years, she's very good at it, very, very good at it. I'm incredibly proud. As her sister, I'm incredibly proud. But I'm also proud of the how my channel looks now, because it really is a change, and it's much smoother. Hey, Swampy, good morning. Good morning, sweetie. Thank you for coming by. I also wanted to say happy birthday weekend to Johnny, Cajun Roots Reseller, who is also in the chat. And I hope that it was such an incredible birthday weekend. We had a blast we had a blast on Friday morning, doing the live and the giveaways and the duck races and all of that. It was so much fun. I wish you could have been there. I hope you were there. Also, my many thanks to Ella with Save Here First for allowing me the privilege to join her auction on Thursday as a guest. Johnny and I were both guests on her auction on Thursday, and this is the second time that we've done that. Both times we've had a wonderful, wonderful time. Ella's a very gracious host, and we have had a wonderful time. So I really appreciate the opportunity, to sell on somebody else's channel. They're doing me a favor there, and I consider it that. I also Pam Stitch. It's Pam Stitch's birthday today. Hi, Pam Stitch. Happy birthday, Pam. Happy birthday, Pam Stitch. I do also want to say happy birthday to Mary from Two Hip Chicks. It is her birthday today, Mary. We are so glad. The entire Glam fam is so happy that you were born. We are blessed by your presence on this earth, and thank you so, so, so much. Thank you so much. We wish you all the best on your birthday. I want to thank Chloe and Veronica for the bar and everyone who was in the chat for the great fun that we had. Glamma's Closet, Cajun Roots, you both looked great in the tiaras. Thank you, Deadhead. Thank you. I wore a different tiara the night before. I know it's bad. It's bad, but I like feeling special some days. And you pop a tiara on your head, and it doesn't matter what house coat you're wearing. So Chloe and Veronica, thank you so much for participating in the bar, and they are, of course, OG members of the bar, so of course they would. But they were both lovely and both had their beautiful tiaras on, and that was adorable. I thought it was so cute. My buyers on Thursday's auction, I want to thank you very much for your purchases, and that includes, but not limited to, hey, Jane. That includes, but not limited to, these were just the people who purchased from Glamma's Closet. Tracy Cakes, thank you so much. Vintage Jewels, Gems, and Pearls, Margie, thank you. Joe Mouse, my JoJo, and she was here in the chat. I hope you're still here to get your shout outs, JoJo. But I really do adore my JoJo. She is so sweet. She's so sweet. So Joe Mouse, Cool Ranch Dorito, Teresa, and if you ever see her in a chat, she'll have it'll say TRE, and then she'll have a picture of a tree, and then it'll say SA, and it's really funny. But she's right, because otherwise people misspell or mispronounce her name. So Teresa, thank you so much. And Robin Bye, thank you. Oh, there she is. Hey, JoJo. JoJo, thank you so much for your continued support of this channel, for your continued support of Glamma's Closet. I truly appreciate you. She is God, she's so sweet. She is so sweet. Like the things that she says and the things that she puts in the chat, she's just such a sweetheart. It's an incredible thing to be blessed with somebody like that. Um, it's an incredible thing. Jojo, we just really love you. Um, Also, welcome home to my baby boy and his lovely girlfriend, wherever they are. Um, Thank you to my baby mama for the delicious Father's Day crab boil and swim party that is taking place this afternoon. I call her my baby mama. She's so sweet. It's my husband's ex, and we co-parent my two oldest sons, and they are. She's wonderful. Like we go on vacation with them, like her and her husband. Well, her and her boyfriend. Long time though, and we have such a fun time. Like the guys get along, we get along. I just love her. They're just so sweet. And so she's doing a big crab boil, big seafood boil today, and a swim party at her house. So we're headed over there this afternoon. It's gonna be fun for Father's Day. And finally, let's wrap this up with Happy Father's Day to my husband. I just love you. And if anybody was an OG daddy, honey, you are it. You are the OG daddy. I absolutely love you. And I think you've been an incredible father. What an incredible example to our boys, both of how to treat your wife the correct way, and also how to be a man without being toxic. How to be a man's man without being toxic. You're an incredible guy. And I am very glad that I married you. 25 years after I married you, I'm glad that I married you. Also to my two sons that are fathers, and I'm not going to mention their names because I want to protect them too, and their children. But my two oldest sons, who are both fathers to my grandchildren, thank you so much for being great, strong dads, for being steady. And sometimes the hardest part, sometimes of being a father, is the tedium. It's just the day-to-day long tedium. So that is that's I'm very, very grateful for the grandchildren that you are sharing with me, and thank you so much for that. Thank you. And I love you, boys. You know that. You're my boys. I love you. And all of the dads out there, happy Father's Day. I hope you have a wonderful Father's Day. And thank you so much for being good dads. And you're important in your children's lives. And Glenn, yes, the post office is closed on Monday. It's closed on Monday. It's a national holiday, Juneteenth, June the 19th. So please don't forget that the post office is closed tomorrow. So you have another day to lounge around before you have to ship stuff out. So that's how I look at it. I love it. And with that, I think we are going to wrap things up. But before I go, I want to show you my new outro. And of course, just to let you know that, no matter who's your daddy, no matter how you celebrate today or tomorrow, no matter where you are or where you go, please don't forget. Don't you ever forget. Mama loves you. Bye. Sorry.